Hey, in the world of design, certain iconic pieces becoming symbols of innovation, craftsmanship and timeless beauty. The PH5 lamp, designed by Poul Henningsen, is such one Danish design classic. During my recent visit to Copenhagen, I had the privilege of sitting down with David Obel Rosenkvist, Chief Commercial and Creative Officer of Poulsen, the renowned manufacturer of the PH5 lamp, to delve into the topic of replicas and understand why the original design holds true to sustainability values while replicas fall short.
My name is David, and I've been with Poulsen for the last 6-7 years. Before that, had a background with Poul Henningsen for many years, and also with David Rasmussen. So I've been in the area of design and interior for quite some years. Background within marketing and consulting, and have had the luck of working with some brilliant brands that has a long legacy and heritage, and also has had quite a awareness of what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, and do you know that 1 of 10 Danes have replicas in their homes, and what do you think about it?
Well, I think it's sad. I think it's wrong, and I think that I don't know if all of them know that they have, and if they are aware that they made that deliberate decision, or is it something that they have been fooled into. But I think that it's sad that they don't have the original designs that they must in some way appreciate, since they decided to include it in their homes.
And do you think it's a challenge for Poulsen that so many people are currently buying more fakes or replicas?
I think in general it is a problem. It's a big problem. I don't think that Denmark is the biggest problem. I think it's a worldwide task that we have, mainly to make sure that we enlighten and inform everybody, our customers and users, about the authenticity and the stories behind the design, so that everybody can become aware, and that we are making sure that this is both in terms of education and information, something that we are supporting as brands of heritage icons, but also that we know that people can make a deliberate choice on what they're selecting.
How can I, as an end customer, notice if my product is fake or original? Of course, when I go to the Poulsen store, then I know it's original, and when I go to a well-known shop. But when I buy something at a vintage market or on the web?
Well, in most cases it's easy, but I acknowledge that it can be difficult from time to time as well. I mean, if you're buying a new piece, make sure that you are buying directly from the brand, or that you are visiting the brand webshop or website to know who are the authorized dealers that are selling and distributing the brand. I mean, that's an easy way to make sure that you are purchasing or buying for somebody that is actually carrying the original designs and brand. In terms of vintage and resold products, it can be more challenged. Then you can do some research yourself in terms of looking at the brand site and investigate and discover the designs and the story behind and the knowledge of the materials, and get a feeling of that. And in most cases, almost all cases, there are some traces of authenticity on the products, which can be stickers, which can be engraved serial numbers, or the brand. It can be different from time to time. Many of our products has a long history. It can be 50 years old or 25 years old, or even older, and then it can vary what are the marks on it, but there should be marks that are recognizable. So that would be a good start.
Do you have an idea which is the most copied product of Louis Poulsen?
I don't know for sure, but probably the PH5 is an item that is copied a lot and has been. For one, it's very famous. It's well known worldwide. It's recognized as probably one of the best lighting designs ever, and it has been on the market since 1958. So it's well distributed, it's well known, and it's appreciated by many, and that's what often makes others interested in making knockoffs of the product.
When I find a PH5, could it be that when there's a sticker on it with Louis Poulsen, it's also fake? Do people also copy the brand, or do they just copy the lamp as a Poul Henningsen lamp or Jacobsen lamp, or do they say it's a PH5 from Louis Poulsen and it's a replica?
I think, you should be prepared that everything can be copied, and the intent by the fake manufacturer can be different. In some cases, they might have the intent of staying within legislation and claim that this is a replica based on, and depending from what geographies, that can be legal or being in a gray zone. Or they can simply be of bad intent and really try to copy everything that goes from the label to the packaging to the booklets that follows along with it. So I mean, you cannot be sure unless that you are making sure that you are buying from an authorized dealership or the brand directly.
And when I find a lamp for a good price, is it an indicator for an original one?
I mean, if the price is too good, it's usually an indicator that it's too good to be true. Or somebody is selling, if it's a vintage market, that don't know the value of what they have, but that is pretty rare. I mean, in these cases, many that are reselling is no. There's even with PH, Poul Henningsen, forums that are debating resale prices or collectors that are appreciating, which can be forums that can be also worthwhile checking. I noticed that in some cases there are just as many that are interested in buying at a low price than maybe offering the right price. But it gives a sense of what is the value really of these vintage or heritage products. But yes, in general, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
And from a customer's point of view, what is the problem with fakes? Because when I want a lamp, I buy a lamp for 100 euro.
Oh, many things is wrong with it, both ethically and also in terms of the design rights that you are infringing on, but also on the products that you are getting at home. And all of them are equally bad, I would say. First and foremost, you're getting a poor product, which is not nice. You would expect that these design icons have become icons for a reason, and that reason is often a timeless design that have proven to be relevant for many, many years, often many, many decades. But also that they are made in materials and in a quality and with well thought through details that will lead this product to last for many, many years, and last in a way where it is either aging or getting a patina that will make the product even more beautiful, or it will preserve the beauty of the original product. And that you will not have by the fake. So, I mean, you end up risking that you will be sad of your choice. So that's one part. The other part is that this is the work of brilliant minds that have not just had an idea of a certain form giving, but have a conceptual thinking and studying and research, both in the design process but also in the manufacturing process, of how to create. For us, it's very much with the lighting a matter of creating, yes, beautiful design, but beautiful design that has a beautiful light. So the light quality and the design quality is part of the same solution. And that's a very fine balance, and it's very important for the whole product. So just having something that seems like or are close to often will not have the same quality of the light. So there are many different dimensions on it, and you can say the whole principle of working with designers, which is having their living on creating unique, original designs and benefiting from whatever royalty that designer can gain over the years. Often not with very high payments up front, but the whole business model of this is depending on the royalty that product will gain over years. Is something that the whole business model, so the sustainable model for developing new designers, new unique design, innovations and great products for the future, is a very fine balance. So that is what you're jeopardizing as well.
But when I have no money for the original, maybe I don't care about all the design and arguments, is it also maybe dangerous to have a replica because it involves electricity in the product and it could be made poorly in China and then my house could catch fire? Or
I don't know. In worst case, I mean, at least you don't have any warranty or guarantee how it will age or how it will last or how it have been produced. I mean, we are very thorough in terms of making sure that the products and the designs can be repaired, that we have spare parts, that we can change electronic components, because we know that the designs and the products will last a lifetime or even longer if they're maintained the right way, or if they're being taken care of, and they can be having second lives and being resold, and they can be updated and they can be repaired. So all of this is part of the original designs. So yes, of course, all of that you won't have with the knockoffs or the replicas. But it's also a matter of that what you are getting, I mean, what you are appreciating about an original design is all of these dimensions together: the quality, the uniqueness, the design, the way it lasts, and the story behind it, and that you won't get with the replica. So if it's a matter of budget, choose something else, and see this as an investment for life and for comfort and something that you will treasure, and that I think you will not treasure. You will not treasure it if it is not an original product.
And you mentioned the story behind the product. I mean, Danish design is a big part of the DNA of Denmark and its people. What do you think about that? A handful of brands have the rights to Arne Jacobsen, Kai Boysen, and the iconic designer Poul Henningsen. And people, especially in Denmark, have to spend money and more money on these products, which are part of their culture and everything. Do you think this is right?
Yes, I do very much so, and I think it's a way of taking care of that heritage and that cultural heritage. I think by securing that there is a right between those that have the original rights of the design, the designers, or the families of the designers. And then the manufacturers that are being either as original designers, as in the case with Louis Poulsen, is a way of securing that this is the original intent of the products that are being kept and not jeopardized. So I believe that it's in the interest of everybody, both the original designers, the manufacturers, and definitely the customers at the end.
Why are fakes so cheap in comparison to the original ones?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, in most cases, I guess that manufacturers that decide to manufacture fake products are looking into a factory cost of seeing if they can manufacture something that will look alike and will not be having the cost of building the knowledge, the brand, the awareness, the contribution of the creators into that business case. So it's just trying to have a little bit of that value chain and see if they can convince or if they can cheat someone to believe that it is a product that they are getting that they actually are not.
And one last question for this part. As an iconic design brand you produce in Denmark, could you also produce in China to lower the prices of your products? Would that be an option for you?
I mean, we manufacture most of our products in Denmark, but not only. I mean, manufacturing lighting is it's a tricky part because there's a lot of different components that goes into it. It might be on a pH 3.5, 3 glass table lamp that the mouth blown glass components is one of the most important part of the design. And those are not manufactured in Denmark. They're manufactured in Italy. They're mouth blown in a place close to Venice. But they're having their final assembly in Denmark and the quality assurance. We have electronic components coming from Asia. We have steams that are being made in Taiwan. We have components coming from all over the world. What's important to us is that we can secure that the quality of the product always is at the highest level as the original intent. So made in Denmark is not the most important part. The most important part is to secure that we have the right quality. And if that can be done at better prices, we would love to do so. But often it goes hand in hand that high quality with high quality follows high prices. And in some cases, Chinese manufacturing is amazing if it is being kept to the high quality. Because they have good standards for that. But if it with knockoffs, no matter if they're made in China or if they're made in Eastern Europe or if they're made in Western Europe, knockoffs is always trying to make the lowest manufacturing cost, and that will jeopardize the quality, of course.
Now let's move on to what you're doing against fakes and replicas. If you can explain maybe what role the Danish Rights Alliance plays, as you are a member of it, and how are you combating fakes and monitoring the market?
I mean, we are screening the market. I mean, we are trying to join forces with the brands alike that are in the same situation, because in a global perspective, this is a task that overcomes or that exceeds what we can overcome. So in Denmark, we are joining the Rights Alliance, which is a group of Danish brands that are helping each other in discovering and also in having digital and automated ways of scanning and controlling what's popping up on the web. And the same in the US. I'm very proud to be one of the founding fathers of Be Original Americas, which was founded 10 years ago when I was living in the US. And I was surprised and shocked that design didn't have equal protection as other creative creations in the US because of legislation, but also because of tradition. And we started a group of founding partners where we made a manifest about that we wanted to inform and educate the American people so that they knew what was behind and the importance of original and authentic design. And also we wanted to have the designers and the architects and the retailers, those that were selling and distributing, in some cases where they might have both original and knockoff design in their shops, that we wanted them to take a stand, either to be saying that out loud, or that they would help in the cause of protecting original design. And that movement is now 10 years old and growing. And they are not only educating and informing and being a network, they are also managing to have fake products being destroyed in the custom when they are entering the country. So yes, joining forces and making these networks really make a difference. And we are part of all these organizations that we know of, and of course individually, but also in the group, are doing our best to, whenever we see it, that we approach it.
That's interesting. Have you encountered any challenges while raising awareness about the importance of original products in the American market? How did people respond to your message?
I think that, of course, the frustration was immense. I was working with Poul Henningsen at that time, and what I could see was that in many cases the original design had been specified by the architect for a project or for a home, and then somebody had decided along the way to go for knockoffs to reduce budget, not knowing at the client level or the end consumer or end customers that this was not the same quality, it was not the original design, it wasn't the same warranty, it wasn't the same product. So, but there was kind of an atmosphere in the beginning that this could not be changed. This was how it were, and of course among the brands there was an equal frustration about that. And the European brands, it was very easy to convince to join forces and see if we could do something. But also among the American brands, because there's a long tradition of protecting the rights of products and designs in all other business. I mean, fashion, art, movie making, music, all creative fields. So when it was pointed out that there was a gap, there was a huge support of it, and really it was more about education and taking a stand.
When it comes to education, who do you primarily target? End customers, dealers, or through marketing campaigns?
Yes, I mean, Be Original was a network with a membership, and they have over the years been educating at school levels, at architect levels, at dealer levels, and also made it a forum where you are, as a dealer or as an architect, supporting the cause by supporting authentic or original design. And by that you are helping to educate what does that mean. So that will become a topic that you discuss with your clients, with your customers, and where you have all of a sudden you are in positions where you cannot do both. So that has been really on all different levels. So educating among the brands in terms of what can be done, and education among specifiers and customers and students.
That's great to hear. Besides education, what other methods do you take to combat fakes? Do you employ dedicated staff or external agencies? Is the Danish Rights Alliance involved in these activities?
The Danish Rights Alliance is doing that in a network of using softwares that are scanning and also helping off in terms of identifying and doing the first actions. But we need to act individually, all of the manufacturers and all of the brands, to take actions through cease and desist letters and following up on that and deciding when to bring things to court if needed. But it's mushrooming. I mean, as soon as you are shutting something down in one place, it will pop up somewhere else. So you need to have software, you need to have digital capabilities so that you can identify and discover. It's happening so rapid speed that there needs to be something that is happening automatically. We at Louis Poulsen is including it as part of our people and culture, where we have a legal department where they are working on a daily basis with this, but it's not full-time functions. It can't be. So it needs to tie into structures and tools. Otherwise, it will be too demanding for a company our size.
It's quite surprising to me that well-known shops sometimes unknowingly sell fake products. Do you think the shop owners or buyers are sometimes unaware of the authenticity of the products they acquire?
I think if it's professional procurement departments or distribution outlets, I think they're aware. They should be, or they should investigate, or at least when they are being told and becoming aware, they should act against it. So, and if they don't, they are in bad faith, and then it should be followed. I think, of course, that from time to time, and there will be people that have been in good faith and made a mistake, and then they can do the wrongdoing. But in Europe, with the awareness and with the legislation we have in Europe, everybody working in buying and selling interior designs, they should know.
Is it true that when I, as a customer, resell a fake product, that this is not legal?
Yes, I mean, there has been the case before that the UK was ratifying the European legislation. It could be legal as a private customer to acquire, but not to resell. I mean, you would be doing an illegal act if you were promoting, or if you were showing, or if you were selling. So in that way, you can say that the item becomes worthless in a sense, where what is most often the case with these heritage design icons is that they are keeping their value very well, and that is of course not the case with an item that you are not even allowed to sell.
What should I do when I love Louis Poulsen and I want to have a piece, but I don't have the money? Do you have any plans to make it more available for a larger target group, like renting or something? I don't know. You had a campaign where you bought back old products and then refurbished them, but they still weren't cheap.
I think that, of course, to buy products of very high quality and very high design value is expensive. I mean, the nature of the quality of the product will mean that they come at a high price. And I think for many people, not only wealthy people, this becomes a passion, that it becomes a priority, that you will save up money to acquire, because if it's part of your home, of the surroundings where you spend most of your time, it's a matter of looking at the value of this on being part of your daily life, but also on the resale value in terms of bringing it on to the next generation, or selling it at auctions, or selling it at vintage that is keeping its price. So if you're not able to fill your house with these iconic pieces, be aware of what pieces it is that you really want to acquire, and make an effort on saving for that. If you cannot afford buying it from new, buy it from heritage, where unless it becomes more premium and thereby more expensive by being rare, it will have somewhat lesser price. A PH5 that will be dated will be maybe 30%, 25% of the original price, and appreciated from being that. That will probably keep its value even just as good as a new. So there are many ways, or until you can afford or have made the savings of it, live with something else, but not a copy. Why? Then there can be other original designs that are made at a lower cost that you should choose.
But can you understand people who buy a fake product because they love it so much but can't afford it?
No, I can't. I simply can't, because the appreciation of that product cannot be the same. It will not be the same. It's like a make-believe for others and a make-believe for yourself. And I don't believe that you can be appreciating, whether it's being a watch or whether it's being any other I mean, the reason for it is the appreciation of that product in all details. And in all details means the quality of it and the origin of it and the story behind it. And you might be able to fool yourself and others for a while or at a distance, but you won't have the pleasure of it.
And maybe buying fakes also harms your community or country when Danish people lose their jobs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the whole infrastructure, or it's the whole sustainability of having unique design being created. So on all levels, I think it's in the long run, it's not sustainable for anyone in these priorities.
Thank you, David. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think just that, I mean, in the age of being much more aware of the footprint that we are leaving on this planet, on sustainability and on spending and uses the resources of this world, that being aware to invest in high quality that will last is something that will both be beneficial for your own enjoyment and appreciation and value of that design, but it's also something that will be a sustainable right choice for our resources and for the world. So this will be products that will last for many, many years, often a lifetime, and it will be a much better way of consuming.